Welcome to Morecambe Parish Church. Welcome to our church. Except it's a bit weird because it's empty, because it's middle of the week. And we don't just worship Jesus in here every week, we worship Jesus outside too. So why don't we go and have a look at that? Come on. When we worship Jesus, he teaches us to go out as well. And so we do that. We do that by sharing him in our daily lives and in all the things that we get up to, both in there and out here. And we've got so much that we're involved with. Our church is embedded in its community, in its local area, and we work together with the Holy Spirit to share the good news of Jesus through all sorts of things that we're about. Why don't you come and have a look? Of course, we've got the Memorial Hall where we do all sorts of things like pot and playtime and the Lighthouse Club, but we'll talk about that a bit later. And then a bit further down, we've got our school here. And our school is such an important hub and centre of our community. But again, we'll talk more about that in a bit later. Why don't you join me in the centre of town to see what we're about down there? Come on. Oh, sorry. That's all right. Back in, how's that for natural? Back in 2020, COVID had hit. We started the pantry, Morecambe Pantry, a food club about redistribution of food. Really fantastic thing. And it was in the hall, but it needed space to grow following that. And we started the Morecambe Sanctuary, the Sanctuary Project, our cafe, community cafe, which exists here on Queen Street.
The Sanctuary is a safe, warm place. We provide good food and great coffee. We work with partners such as people from CAF and NHS to signpost people to where they might need support. We have everyone from homeless people who are struggling, single parents. We have quite a few gentlemen with mental health issues, just supporting people along them lines.
Working at the Sanctuary is very rewarding, dealing with people on a day-to-day basis. Well, all different walks of life, people to do with the church at all different levels, which is great. And then we also get some homeless people come through that we can help out as best we can.
There is a big need in Morecambe for resources to help people. Locally, there's not much around, so we have a lot of people come through here.
In my opinion, the best item on the menu is the ham and cheese panini.
The Sanctuary Cafe is a hub for people to be just as they are, to get good food and coffee and spend time with one another. And it's here in this building. It's a hubbub of activity and a wonderful place to be, in which there's a great deal of welcome. Our church is really alive here. And then also just in the same building, but on the other side of it, we've got Morecambe Pantry, which is our food club. And that's doing really, really well as well. Doing a slightly different thing, but both aspects of that church creating community here in our community.
The pantry is a food sharing club. The pantry is available to anybody. We don't have a criteria. People do have to book in and register with us, but anyone who comes through the door, as long as they're registered, will be served. They pay their £5 or £7.50 and they get anything between £20 and £40 worth of food, lots of fruit and veg, and then depending on what comes into us, what they get the choice of after that. The food that we have mainly comes from Fairshare, some of it comes from Ed Cup, some of it comes from the vegetable retailers, some of it comes from local supermarkets. I assume any food that didn't come here would end up being wasted.
Another part of church is our relationship with the school. It's a big part of who we are as a church family. It's a big part of our community. Here we are in the entrance hall of our school, and it's a big part of what we do as a church because it's the real hub of our local community, and it's tied to our church. It's a Church of England primary school, and it's so important that we keep those links together. Every week the school come into church, and we're regularly here involved in what's going on. And in this place, it's a real sanctuary of Christian love, And it's so important that people know that the light shines in the darkness and the darkness shall not overcome it. If anybody wants to know what we do, that is it. That's what we do. And so it's really important to be part of this. This is church too. It's great being part of the school, but not only that, but we've also got our wraparound care, which happens in the Memorial Hall.
Lighthouse Club is a wraparound care and holiday club for children at Poulton-le-Sands and Morecambe in term time, primary school age in the holidays. We are a safe, secure, reliable childcare for parents, but we always wanted it to be somewhere that children wanted to come. Lots of games, lots of toys, lots of colouring, and it's brilliant because the kids all mix. Whoever's in on the day is in on the game. I think what makes it special is we try and look at it from a child's point of view. So our 2 rules are really simple: be kind, be safe, because if everybody's being kind and safe, then it's a good place for everyone. So the kids do a lot of work around emotional literacy and those soft skills of listening to each other, taking turns, sharing, joining in. And it's really good to watch the older ones mentoring the younger ones, and some of the younger ones actually stepping up and going, I know how to do this, I can do that. Watching them grow in confidence as they've been there for a couple of years is amazing. It's the best thing.
Hey Chris, don't forget about us. We're Roots.
Sorry, Annabelle, you're right. Yeah, of course, our Roots youth group, that happens too. That's for our youth, our children from the school and from the local area to come together and to learn about Jesus together. It's fab, it's fun, and I'm sorry, I definitely hadn't forgotten it. So all of that together is what makes up our church, not just what happens inside that wonderful church building, but all the things that happen around in the community. And it's such a privilege to be part of a community and to have an active role. There are so many different ways in which we can be church. We can share God's love with those around us, and we're about it. And if you're wondering what things you can do to help, how you can join our church family and be part of it, all those things take money, resources, and time. And all of that feeds in to what goes on here in church, where we come together as God's family to worship Him in spirit and truth. And we do that as a family, filled up by all that God gives us, ready in here, ready to go out there and shine as little lights, little pockets of God's glory all across the community. And that's what we're about. If that's something that you might be interested in and you fancy joining a family of faith in here and out there, then we'd love to meet you. We'd love you to come and see. So why not come to church?